Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, Organ Donation, India Foundation. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic, and today's topic is not only current, very, very hot, burning topic, and the topic is hijab controversy. But before I will go on the main topic, I would like to inform you today the world is celebrating World Radio Day. World Radio Day is an international day celebrated on 13th February each year. The day was decided by UNESCO on 3rd November 2011 during its 36th conference. Radio is a powerful medium for celebrating humanity in all its diversity and constitutes a platform for democratic discourse. At the global level, radio remains the most widely consumed medium. This unique ability to reach out the widest audience means radio can shape a society's experience of diversity, stand as an arena for all voices to speak out, be represented and heard. Radio stations should serve diverse communities, offering a wide variety of program, viewpoints and content, and reflect the diversity of audiences in their organization and operations. Today also, India is celebrating National Women's Day. India celebrates Mrs. Sarojini Naidu's birthday as National Women's Day every year on February 13th. She was born on February 13th, 1879. She was famous for her nickname Nightingale of India or Bharat Kokila because of her poems. Mrs. Sarojini Naidu was not only a freedom fighter, but she also became the first woman governor of the United Province, the present Uttar Pradesh. She was one of the forefront leaders who led the civil obedience movement and the Quit India movement. Media conference with Lal Goel wishes you Happy Radio Day and Happy Women's Day. Now coming to our main topic, hijab controversy. The word hijab refers to both the head covering traditionally worn by many Muslim women and to the concept of modesty in Islam generally. In early January 2022, a dispute over the wearing of hijab in a government-run pre-university college at Udupi, Karnataka came to light. The college was confronted with 6 Muslim female students who insisted on wearing hijab to classes. The college disallowed it. The students were allowed on campus, but not into classes. The case was brought to the attention of the media by Ansar Ahmed, the district president of Karnataka Rakshana Vedike, a voluntary organization. The student wing of Popular Front of India, PFI, called Campus Front of India, threatened a protest, prompting the college to arrange a police presence. The political wing of PFI, called Social Democratic Party of India, SDPI, is also said to have threatened with the protests. The college authorities met and talked with the parents, but remained firm in their resolution not to allow religious attire. By February, the row over hijab has spilled over to other institutions in the Udupi district. At a college in Kundapur, 28 students wearing hijab were barred from entering the college premises. The students were very anxious because their public exams were just 2 months away. The dispute then began to spread to other institutions across Karnataka between Muslim students wanting to wear hijab and the administration barring them. The controversy intensified in early February 2022. Between 4th and 7th February, there were counter protests by students who were against allowing students wearing the hijab to enter the college. These students marched to the college wearing saffron shawls. However, authorities stopped them from entering the premises and asked students to remove the shawls. The students were allowed in only after they complied with the request. On 10th February 2022, a lone Muslim woman clad in a burqa became a media sensation as she was heckled on her college ground in Mandya by a crowd of Hindu students wearing saffron shawls and chanting Jai Shri Ram. She fought back, shouting Allahu Akbar, while the college staff controlled the crowd and escorted her into the building. After these photos that allegedly were of this girl started being circulated on social media, in which she was not wearing a hijab in public, and claims were made this she does not wear hijab in public in her daily life. Later, Alt News fact-checked the photo to be of someone else. On 5th February 2022, the Bharatiya Janata Party BJP-led Karnataka government issued an order clarifying that uniforms were mandatory, while also stating that in the absence of a dress code, students can wear, I quote, the dress which will not affect equality, integrity, and law and order, unquote. The order mentioned that the uniform were to be decided by the state government in government schools and by the school management in private schools. Several schools cited this order and denied entry to Muslim girls wearing the hijab. On 8th February 2022, the government of Karnataka announced the closure of high schools and colleges for 3 days after the controversy over the wearing of hijab by Muslim students intensified. The Bangalore police prohibited protests and agitations from 9th February until 22nd February within the vicinity of any educational institution. Several students from the government pre-university college for girls, Udupi, petitioned the Karnataka High Court against the ban, stating that wearing the hijab was their religious right. On 9th February, a single judge hearing the case referred the matter to a larger bench. A 3-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Ritu Raj Avasthi passed an interim order on 11th February. It requested the state to reopen the educational institutions and restrained students from wearing any sort of religious clothes in classrooms until court decide the matter. A girl in Karnataka had approached the Supreme Court after the High Court interim order. The Supreme Court rejected an urgent hearing and said, we will interfere only at an appropriate time. Now, on this controversy, the different political leaders gave their reactions. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, said on Thursday that people are finding, I quote, new ways to block the rights of Muslim women, unquote. BJP government freed Muslim women from triple talaq. He further said, when Muslim women started openly supporting Modi government, opponents got anxious, but we stand with every Muslim woman, PM Modi said. Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition Indian National Congress Party, criticized the government and said, I quote, by letting students hijab come in the way of their education, we are robbing the future of the daughters of India. Prohibiting hijab wearing students from entering school is a violation of fundamental rights, unquote. Aditya Thackeray, State Minister of Maharashtra, told journalists that if there was a uniform at schools, there should not be a place for any other dress other than that, saying, I quote, schools and colleges are the centers for education. Only education should be imparted there, unquote. Sikh organizations in India condemned the hijab ban, fearing that a ban on Sikh turbans might be next. Muslim Rashtriya Manch, MRM, the Muslim wing of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, in a statement, Anil Singh, the Pranth Sanchalak Avhad of the MRM, begged the burqa-clad student who was heckled by youth shouting Jai Shri Ram slogans at a Karnataka college, saying, I quote, Parda is part of Indian culture, unquote. The MRM distanced itself from the Singh's statement and said that it does not support such, I quote, fantasism and religious frenzy, unquote, and supported the enforcement of dress code in educational institution in Karnataka. Vishv Hindu Parishad, Dr. Surendra Jain, Joint Secretary of Vishv Hindu Parishad, termed the hijab law I quote, a conspiracy to propagate jihadi terrorism, and said that Muslim students were attempting hijab jihad in college campus, unquote. So you have heard all the views of some political parties or politically motivated so-called the institutions, and they have given their views. Today, to discuss this very, very important point, because this has become not only a thing which is only of Karnataka, but it has become national issue, and it has become an international issue. And many of the international celebrities like Malala or some football players or even United States, some organizations, they are also quoting, they are also tweeting about this. So to discuss this very, very important topic, hijab controversy, we have very elite panel with us. They are legal luminary. They are someone who is very eminent social worker, and there is someone who is the director of a very well-reputed management institution. So I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and he is Advocate K.C. Jain. Advocate K.C. Jain is a renowned social activist and Supreme Court lawyer. Advocate Jain is practicing law for last 42 years on the civil side. He appeared in Supreme Court and Allahabad High Court in several important cases. He is active on various social platforms of the city of Agra. He filed several PILs in Supreme Court regarding the RTI Act, etc. Recently, also, he filed a petition relating to road safety. His large number of articles were published in law journals. His articles were also published in many newspapers on various subjects, including environment, RTI, culture, etc. He has varied interest, especially in RTI and environment. Welcome, Advocate K.C. Jain. Advocate K.C. Jain, you have heard the report which I read, and it is very, very clearly mentioned in that report about all the details which we have seen, what has happened in last, I can say only say 20 days or maximum 1 month. And in then 1 month, this hijab controversy is reaching and making impact not only national but international. We would like to know your views, because right now few people believe that this controversy is created especially keeping in mind the Uttar Pradesh election, so that the polarization of the communities will take place and it will benefit one of the party. Now, you being in the heart of Uttar Pradesh at Agra, so you can very well give your views about the hijab controversy. Advocate K.C. Jain, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel, for giving me an opportunity to share my views on this most controversial issue which is prevailing throughout the country. You have given the factual scenario and the recent developments that have taken place. I wish to focus on legal and constitutional aspect of the matter, because ultimately what one section of the society claims and another denies, it has to be tested on the touchstone of the constitutionality. Therefore, our constitution being the supreme document to govern our fundamental rights, our statutory rights, and our statutory power to regulate. Therefore, I wish to focus on that in this short span of 10 minutes. Article 25 and Article 26 of the Constitution regulate about the freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. And Article 26 deals with freedom to manage religious affairs. Clause B of Article 26 is the most relevant for the purpose of the present controversy, which says, subject to public order, morality, and health, every religious denomination or any section thereof shall have the right to manage its own affairs in the matters of religion. Therefore, the right to manage own affairs in the matter of religion has been given, that freedom has been given. But that freedom has to be tested with reference to the formula evolved by the Supreme Court. We are now concerned with the question of wearing hijab, that is headscarf. It is only a dress. It has, though whether such wearing a dress can be said to be part of religious affair, right, to be covered within the freedom of to manage religious affairs. There is a catena of judgments that have been given by the Supreme Court way back from 1960 to recently. The first judgment of Tilkayat Govind Lalji versus State of Rajasthan said that what has to be seen is whether it is an integral part of the religion. I would like to refer one paragraph of the judgment. If in a given proceeding, one section claims while performing certain rites that while dress is an integral part of the religion itself, there also the question was of that of the dress. Whereas another section contends that yellow dress, not the white dress, is the essential part of the religion. How is the court going to decide the question? That was the issue before the lordship, before the constitution bench of the Supreme Court way back in 1963. They said, which practice is an integral part of religion because community may speak with more than one voice and formula may therefore break down. Therefore, what they said is, if the practice in question is purely secular or affair, which is controlled by the statute, it is essentially and absolutely secular in character. It cannot be urged that that Article 25(1) or 25(b) has been contravened. They further said that whether the practice in question is religious in character or whether it can be regarded as an integral or essential part of the religion, and the finding the court on such issue would depend on the evidence adduced before it and is the conscience of the community and the tenets of the place. The test laid down in this judgment was it must be regarded that the said religion as an essential and integral part of the religion. Integral part. The basic line of reasoning given by this Honorable Supreme Court was that it should be an essential and integral part of the religion. Similar view was taken in thereafter in 2004 by the Supreme Court in Abdut case matter. There also they said an essential part of practice of religion. Essential part of religion means core beliefs upon which religious belief. It should be core theory of core belief or core part. It is upon the cornerstone of the essential parts and practices the superstructure of religion is built. Not every practice, not every dress, not every way of worship is treated as an integral part of religion. If taking away the part, what the test they laid down is, if taking away that part of the practice could result into a fundamental change in the character of the religion or its belief, then such part could be treated as an essential or integral part. So the test is very specific and categorical. If taking away of that part or practice could result into fundamental change in the character of the religion or belief, can it be said that if hijab is not allowed to be worn in an educational institution, would it result into a fundamental change in the character of the religion or the belief? No. And the result is, the answer is that such part could not be treated as an essential or integral part. Wearing hijab is only a practice, is only being liked by a section of persons. But that does not mean that if it is not permitted, it would result in fundamental change in the character of the religion. Similar view was taken by the Honorable Supreme Court in 2017 when they decided the triple talaq matter. There also the test was whether a part or practice is essential to a religion, is to find out the nature of the religion will be changed without that part of practice. If that part of practice is changed, whether the nature of the religion will be changed. No. Islam religion is altogether different than wearing an attire by the girls going to the school. And thereafter, in 2018 also, in the Sabrimala temple matter, there also that the court said matters that are essential to religious faith or belief are to be judged on the evidence before the court of law by the community professing the religion itself has to say that essentiality of such belief. One test that has been evolved by the court would be to remove the particular belief stated to be essential belief from the religion. Would the religion remain the same or would it be altered? So the test very specifically laid down repeatedly by the Supreme Court since 1960 till date is whether one test is whether to remove the particular belief belief stated to be essential belief from the religion. Would the religion remain the same? Would the religion remain the same or would it be altered? The religion, the Islam religion is not going to be changed, not at all, if the girls going to the school are not permitted to wear headwear, the hijab. Therefore, looking into the catena of judgment that have been delivered by the Supreme Court from 1960 till date, the result is that if the school authorities decide to impose a dress code and they restrict wearing the religious dress, then it is valid. If the matter would travel to the Honorable Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, in view of its earlier judgments, would surely hold that such restriction is valid and it is enforceable. Therefore, keeping in view of the constitutional provisions and the view taken by the Supreme Court so far about the essential or the core part of a religion and that theory which they have evolved, I'm sure that if the school authorities say that it is not that hijab is not to be worn, then such restriction is valid. Even recently, on 16th of July 2021, the Court of Justice of European Union delivered its judgment, and they said that prohibition may be justified by employer. It was also with reference to hijab, a restriction imposed by an employer, and employee going to the court. The Court of Justice of European Union said prohibition may be justified by the employer's need to present a neutral image towards customers and to prevent social disputes. The European Court thereby found the restriction by the employer to be valid one with a view to present a neutral image towards customers and to prevent social disputes. We also wish to avoid social disputes. We don't want the nation to be engulfed in this unnecessary controversy. The followers of the Muslim religion, they can wear the dress they like in their religious functions, in their social gatherings, in the market and any place. Here, the short question is whether the students should be permitted to wear religious dress like hijab in schools. Therefore, we have to consider this limited controversy, a controversy of whether that dress can be permitted in schools. Schools have their own discipline code. They can definitely impose such restriction. if we want the nation not to be unnecessarily engulfed in this controversy, and rather we should focus on various other challenges which we are facing, whether it is our fight against poverty, whether it is our fight against unemployment, whether it is the struggle for development, whether the need for infrastructure, all these important issues and fronts which the country is facing, we must focus our 100% attention for solving those issues rather than on the tribal issues like dress, which is not also constitutionally permissible or constitutionally can be defended. That therefore we must focus on what is important for the nation, which ultimately leads to unity in diversity. We should not find reasons and grounds where we can have clashes or which increases the communal tension. We have to avoid all these things, and we have to go for greater cause of the humanity, cause of the development, cause of the nationality, cause of integration. This is how I conclude my statement here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Advocate Jain. And Advocate Jain very clearly stated that as per all the judgments which he has quoted of Honorable Supreme Court, he says it is very, very clear that hijab is not that thing. It's not that essential that if the girl is not wearing the hijab in school, it will alter the Islam religion. So according to him, Supreme Court has very clarified in all the judgments, including the Sabrimala judgment, where they have said if by any act, if it is not altering the particular religion, then that act can be barred. And that's why, according to Advocate Jain, the hijab bar, banning the hijab wearing in a school is correct. And he says that we should concentrate on all major issues like unemployment and inflation, etc., but not on this petty issue and create some tension. Thank you very much, Advocate Jain, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he is Advocate Amir Ahmed. Advocate Ahmed is a renowned practicing lawyer for last 40 years at District and Session Court, Agra. He is ex-General Secretary, Collectorate Bar Association. He is a renowned Urdu poet. He participated in several All India Mushairas and Kavi Sammelans in various cities of country. He also recited poetry and took part in discussions on All India radio and TV channels. He conducted several literary social poetic programs. He was associated with Bajme Nazir Agra, Bajme Maikash Agra, Yadgar Agra Samiti, etc. He is presently president of Karwan-e-Adab Agra. He is the General Secretary, Chitranshi Agra. He has deep faith in composite culture of the country. इंसानियत ही हर मजहब की बुनियाद है. वेलकम, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है एडवोकेट अमीर अहमद साहब हमारे कार्यक्रम में. अभी आपने एडवोकेट जैन साहब को सुना और उनका बड़ा क्लियर मत था. उन्होंने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जो निर्णय हुए हैं उनको उन्होंने कोट करके बताया, साइट किया और बताया, जिसमें साफ लिखा है कि कोई भी ऐसी चीज जिससे कि उस धर्म में आमूल परिवर्तन, उसका जो मूलभूत है, जो बेसिक है, अगर उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं होता है तो वो चीज को बैन करने का अधिकार है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के हिसाब से भी, लॉ में भी, और प्राइवेट अगर सर्कुलर है तो प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूशन को भी. तो उनका कहना था कि स्कूल में बच्चियों को हिजाब ना पहनना, क्लास में नहीं पहनना है, बाकी सब जगह पहन सकती हैं, का बैन करने का अधिकार स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को है. आप क्योंकि आप इस्लाम धर्म से आते हैं और आपने काफी, आपको तजुर्बा है, आपने बहुत कुछ देखा है, दूसरा आप साहित्यिक आदमी भी हैं. हम आपसे आपके विचार जानना चाहेंगे कि क्या हिजाब की जो एक कंट्रोवर्सी हो रही है, ये क्या सही है? आपके क्या विचार हैं एडवोकेट अमीर अहमद साहब? प्लीज अनम्यूट, प्लीज अनम्यूट.
शुक्रिया गोयल साहब मौका देने के लिए. और रिपीटेशन से बचने के लिए मैं लीगल एस्पेक्ट पे बात नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि वो जैन साहब ने बहुत डीपली और बहुत थॉरोली उन्होंने उसको एक्सप्लेन कर दिया सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट, हालांकि मैं भी लिए बैठा था, लेकिन अब चूंकि रिपीटेशन हो जाएगा उस फायदा नहीं है। मैं बात करूंगा सोशल एनवायरनमेंट पे, और मैं बात करूंगा आम जिंदगी में किस तरह से मुस्लिम पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, मुस्लिम बच्चियां किस तरह से करें। मैं शुरुआत करूंगा अपनी डॉटर से। मेरी डॉटर ने पीजी किया सेंट जॉन्स डिग्री कॉलेज से, उसने तब तक कोई हिजाब नहीं पहना। उसके बाद वो बीएड करने लखनऊ गई यूनिटी कॉलेज से, और वहां उसने देखा कि उसके साथी जितनी ज्यादातर थी वो हिजाब यूज करती थी, तो मेरी डॉटर ने भी वहाँ हिजाब यूज करना शुरू कर दिया। बीएड करने के बाद जब वो आगरा आई तो उसने एक कॉलेज में पढ़ाने टीचिंग के लिए उसने अप्लाई किया, वहां गई तो वो हिजाब पहनकर चली गई मेरी बच्ची। और जब लौट कर आई तो कॉलेज ने, चूंकि वो बहुत उसका शी इज थ्रू आउट फर्स्ट क्लास, तो उन्होंने उसका सिलेक्शन कर लिया, और लेकिन उसको होल्ड पे रखा कि हम 15 दिन बाद आपको बताएंगे, 20 दिन बाद बताएंगे, लेकिन वहां से कोई रिप्लाई नहीं आया। उसके बाद तो वो मुझसे कहने लगी, पापा उन्होंने तो मुझे सेलेक्ट कर लिया था। मैंने कहा बेटा मुझे लगता है कि तुम वहाँ हिजाब पहन के चली गई, इस वजह से शायद उन्हें लगा कि तुम आगे भी हिजाब पहन के आओगी, और वो तुमसे डायरेक्टली मना नहीं कर पाएंगे कि तुम हिजाब ना पहनो। इस वजह से मुझे लगता है यही एक रीजन है, और तो कुछ मुझे नजर नहीं आता। तो खैर वो मेरी बेटी ने फिर दूसरी जगह किया, वहां उसने पढ़ाया, फिर उसने वहाँ हिजाब यूज नहीं किया। लेकिन ये जो इशू है ना, ये इशू एक पॉलिटिकल इशू बन गया। कर्नाटक का जहां से ये स्टार्ट हुआ है, वहां पिछले 2 साल से वो लड़कियां हिजाब पहनकर जा रही थी उसके स्कूल के अंदर, कभी किसी ने नहीं रोका। अब चूंकि 5 स्टेट्स में इलेक्शन था, तो कुछ ना कुछ पैदा करना था, तो ये जानबूझकर कंट्रोवर्सी पैदा की गई और 2 ग्रुप्स को आमने सामने ले आए। मैं जैन साहब की इस बात से एग्री करता हूँ कि हर इंस्टीट्यूशन को राइट है अपने ड्रेस कोड करने का, और अगर उसको कोई ब्रीच करता है तो फिर उसमें जो एक्शन लेगा वो कॉलेज ही लेगा। कॉलेज का मैनेजमेंट ही उसमें राइट रखता है कि वो रोके, कि एक दूसरे ग्रुप को ये नहीं मौका मिल सकता कि वो आके सामने फ्रंट में आ जाए और कहेंगे नहीं आपको हम हिजाब पहन के एंट्री नहीं करने देंगे। तो ये जो मामला था ये पूरा पॉलिटिकल रूप ले गया। एक ग्रुप बच्चियां हिजाब पहन के जाने पे अड़ गई, एक ग्रुप खड़ा हो गया कि नहीं हम हिजाब पहन के आपको अंदर एंट्री नहीं करने देंगे। क्लासरूम की तो बात अलग है, वो तो कहने लगे आप कॉलेज प्रेमाइसेस में ही नहीं आ पाएंगे। एक बच्ची जिसका बुर्का पहने, वो हिजाब नहीं पहनी थी, वो बुर्का पहने हुई थी, जब वो कॉलेज में आती है और अपनी स्कूटी पार करती है, उसके बाद एक ग्रुप उसको घेर लेता है जो खुद तमाम एक पहने हुए थे भगवा। हालांकि भगवा को आप किसी धर्म से नहीं जोड़ सकते, भगवा वस्त्र हर आदमी पहनता है। सूफी संतों में आप देखिए, सूफी श्राइन्स में देखिए, उनके मानने वाले देखिए, तो वहाँ भगवा आराम जनरली यूज होता है। कुछ दरगाहें तो ऐसी जिन्हें मैं जानता हूँ वहां सिर्फ और सिर्फ वहां के लोग भगवा ही पहनते हैं। लेकिन अब चूंकि भगवा को एक जोड़ दिया गया है उससे, तो वो एक शाउटिंग हो रही थी, उधर से 25-30 बच्चे चीख रहे थे, इधर से वो लड़की अलग से अल्लाहू अकबर कह रही थी। अब बताइए कॉलेज प्रेमाइसेस के अंदर भी जय श्री राम और अल्लाहू अकबर होगा, तो फिर सोचिए देश किस दिशा में जा रहा है। मैं कंपोजिट कल्चर में विश्वास रखने वाला व्यक्ति हूँ। मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ अपने मुस्लिम स्टूडेंट से, आप किसी भी मुस्लिम गैदरिंग में चले जाइए, शादियों में जाइए और जो गैदरिंग्स होती हैं, अगर आपको वहां 100 लेडी दिखेंगी तो मुश्किल से 2 या 3 हिजाब पहनी होंगी, हेड स्कार्फ जिसकी बात करते हो, बुर्का तो आपको कहीं नजर ही नहीं आएगा। तो जब आप अपने फंक्शंस में जिद नहीं कर रहे हैं तो इसको इश्यू ना बनाएं। जाने क्यों एक तरह से ये बात लोगों के दिमाग में बैठ गई है कि ये जो बीजेपी की सरकार है ये हमारे सारी चीजें खत्म करना चाहती है, जबकि ऐसा नहीं है। मेरा कहना ये, सोच समझ के चलिए। इस कंट्री की जो हमारी मान्यताएं हैं, जो मूल्य है, जिस तरह से हम रह रहे हैं कंट्री के अंदर, आप किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन में जाते हैं, अगर कोई बच्ची कहती है कि नहीं मुझे तो हिजाब ही पहनना है, तो आप उस इंस्टीट्यूट में जाइए, उस कॉलेज में जाइए जहाँ हिजाब परमिसिबल हो, अलाउ हो, ऐसा कॉलेज चुनिए। तो ये अननेसेसरी एक इशू पैदा कर दिया गया है, और अब ये धीरे धीरे पूरे उसमें फैल रहा है। एएमयू में प्रोटेस्ट हो गया उसको लेके, 2-4 जगह और होगा और शहरों में फैलेगा। तो कर्नाटक हाई कोर्ट ने जो कहा है कि आप थोड़ा सिचुएशन जो है उसको नॉर्मल कीजिए, हम इस पे डिस्कस करेंगे और उसके बाद एक डिटेल जजमेंट पास करेंगे। वही ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि पहले हाई कोर्ट को करने दीजिए और राइट टाइम आएगा तो हम इसमें इंटरफेरेंस करेंगे। लेकिन मेरा, अगर आप एज ए लॉयर, एज ए मुस्लिम पर्सन मुझसे अगर आप मेरी राय लेंगे, तो मैं तो इस राय का बिल्कुल नहीं कि इस मैटर को हम कोर्ट लेके जाएं। ये मैटर कोर्ट में ले जाने लायक नहीं था। ये प्योरली इंस्टीट्यूशन के और स्टूडेंट्स के बीच का मामला है। अगर इंस्टीट्यूट अलाउ करता है कि आप हिजाब पहन कर आए तो आप हिजाब पहन के जाइए। इंस्टीट्यूट अगर आपको मना करता है तो क्लासरूम के अंदर आप जा रहे हैं वहां उतार दीजिए अगर आप करते हैं। एक बच्ची घर से निकलती है, बुर्का तो अब बहुत कम बच्चियां यूज करती हैं, और मैं कहता हूँ चलिए आप अपने घर से लेकर सेफ्टी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से या किसी भी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आप कॉलेज तक बुर्का पहन के जाती हैं, लेकिन अगर कॉलेज आपसे कहता है कॉलेज प्रेमाइसेस में जाने के बाद, दाखिल होने के बाद आपने उस बुर्के को उतार दीजिए, क्लासरूम में आप वैसे ही बैठिए जैसे बाकी बच्चियां बैठी हुई हैं सब। और कॉलेज इंस्टीट्यूशन से भी मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा, हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट, मैं एक एग्जांपल देना चाहता हूँ। जैसे गोयल साहब आप फेल्ट कैप लगाए बैठे हैं, अगर कोई स्टूडेंट क्लास में यूनिफॉर्म जो है वह ड्रेस है, ड्रेस कोड के साथ अगर वो फेल्ट कैप लगा देता तो क्या इंस्टीट्यूशन को उसको रोकना चाहिए? तो इसी तरह से इंस्टीट्यूशन को भी सोचना चाहिए। अगर किसी इंस्टीट्यूट में ज्यादा तादाद में मुस्लिम बच्चियां हैं और अगर वो खुद अपनी मर्जी से हिजाब, सर पर सिर्फ हिजाब, सिर का ढकना, हिजाब क्या, हेड स्कार्फ क्या, सर को ढकना, तो अगर उस तरह से वो करना चाहते हैं तो इंस्टीट्यूशन को भी उसको प्रेस्टिज पॉइंट नहीं बनाना चाहिए। देखिए ड्रेस कोड में और हिजाब में बड़ा फर्क है। ड्रेस कोड जो हम कॉलेजेस में फिक्स करते हैं वो इसलिए कहते हैं कि यूनिफॉर्मिटी रहे, स्टूडेंट्स के बीच किसी को ये ना हो कि एक शानदार कपड़ों में आ रहा है, एक गरीब अगर क्लास का है, वीकर सेक्शन का है, तो वो उस ड्रेस में आ रहा है। इसीलिए वह ड्रेस कोड रखा गया कि सब अपने को एक सा फील करें, अलग अलग कोई महसूस ना करे। तो इंस्टीट्यूशंस को भी ये चीज सोचना चाहिए, अगर उनके इंस्टीट्यूट में ज्यादा तादाद में मुस्लिम बच्चियां पढ़ने आ रही हैं और अगर वो सर पर सिर्फ सर अपना ढक लेंगी तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई ड्रेस कोड का, इससे ड्रेस कोड का ब्रीच हो रहा है। तो ये बड़ा सोच समझ के दोनों को सोचना पड़ेगा, और बच्चियों को भी सोचना चाहिए कि अगर इंस्टीट्यूट कह के नहीं भाई हम ये परमिट नहीं करेंगे तो आप छोड़ दीजिए, उसको क्या दिक्कत है, क्लासरूम तक तो आप जाइए, क्लासरूम में वैसे बैठिए, उसके बाद निकलने के बाद आपको लगता है कि नहीं हमें पेन नहीं पहनना है, फिर आप पहन लीजिए। इस इशू को मिल बैठकर ही सुलझाना चाहिए, वरना ये एक बर्निंग इशू बनता चला जा रहा है। अब ये तो इंटरनेशनल, जैसा कि आपने अभी बताया था शुरू में जब आप इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे, तो आपने बताया कि अब ये बर्निंग इशू हो रहा है, मतलब अमेरिका बोल रहा है, पाकिस्तान बोल रहा है और कंट्रीज बोल रही है, धीरे धीरे फैलेगा। देखिए हमें हिंदुस्तान में रहना है, हम यहीं पैदा हुए हैं, यहीं की मिट्टी में पले बड़े हैं, यहीं हमें मर के दफन होना है, तो कंट्री का बेटरमेंट सबसे ऊपर होना चाहिए। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कंट्री, अवर कंट्री, ये फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल है। अगर हम इस छोटे मोटे इश्यूज में उलझ जाएंगे, अब इसमें क्या होगा, देखिए कॉलेजेस अगर नहीं करेंगे आपके ड्रेस तो मुस्लिम बच्चे एजुकेशन लेने से महरूम हो जाएंगी, छोड़ना पड़ेगा उन्हें, अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट छोड़ने पड़ेंगे, फिर आप वही ले जाइए उसमें। तो मेरा तो मानना ये है कि इसको इशू ना बनाया जाए, कोई बहुत बड़ा इशू नहीं है, और उसमें एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट और मुस्लिम बच्चे और मुस्लिम पेरेंट्स और मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी, इनको बहुत सोच समझ कर इस पर डिसीजन लेना चाहिए। इसको अननेसेसरी अपना प्रेस्टीज ऑफ पॉइंट ना बनाए और मिल बैठ के सुलझाए, दोनों की जिम्मेदारी है। इंस्टीट्यूट को भी सोचना चाहिए, उनकी भी जिम्मेदारी है कि वो मुस्लिम बच्चियों को एजुकेट करे। वैसे ही मुस्लिम्स में एजुकेशन का लेवल बहुत कम है, तो अगर कुछ मुस्लिम बच्चियां निकल कर आ रही हैं तो उनकी फीलिंग्स को भी आप रखिए, मानिए, और बच्चियों को भी सोचना चाहिए कि हमें इंस्टीट्यूट के उसके कर रहे हैं, अननेसेसरी डिस्प्यूट है, इसका कहीं कोई, और मेरा अपना मानना है इसका रिलीजन से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है। रिलीजियस फंक्शंस में मुस्लिम लेडीज बिना हिजाब के आती हैं, मुस्लिम गैदरिंग में लेडीज बिना हिजाब के आती हैं, तो सिर्फ हम जिद पे अड़ जाए कि नहीं साहब हमें अगर रोका जा रहा है तो हम उसको मनवाएंगे, ये मेरे ख्याल से गलत है। हमें इसको बिल्कुल इशू को रिजॉल्व कर देना चाहिए, ये कोई इशू नहीं है, इस इशू को यहीं खत्म हो जाना चाहिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you very much, Advocate Ahmed, for giving your views. And Advocate Ahmed is very, very clear. He says that it depends on the institution as well as the Muslim community and the children's. Why to make an issue out of nothing? Is if the school is not allowing, the girls should not wear the hijab, and if they want only to wear the hijab, they can leave that school, join some other school. But school authority should also think if the girls are wearing hijab, what difference it makes if they are sitting. It is not getting any big issue. So, but he is very, very clear. He also mentioned that in nowadays, even the Muslim girls are not, or the ladies are not wearing hijab in the religious functions, in the marriages and in social gathering, then why they are insisting for going to the school and wearing the hijab in the classroom? So he is very clear in his mind and his thoughts are very clear, and he appealed to both the community to resolve it amicably. Why to unnecessary go to the court and drag the court and create a very poisonous atmosphere in country. Thank you very much, Advocate Ahmed, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he is Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi. Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi is practicing in Supreme Court, New Delhi and various high courts of the country for over 20 years. He has been appearing in the courts for public causes besides commercial litigations across the country. He appeared in more than 50, one moment please, I will just mute. Sorry. He has been appearing in the courts for public causes besides commercial litigations across the country. He appeared in more than 50 public interest litigations, which includes health issues, education, environment, aviation issues, etc. He has also raised the issue of free testing of COVID-19 to all citizens in the private as well as government labs across the country. He has also raised the issue of regulation of airfares by way of PIL in Delhi High Court. He has also raised the issue of Shaheen Bagh protest in Honorable Supreme Court on the ground the fundamental right of common citizen should not be violated, and several other issues which are in the public domain. His life is dedicated to millions of masses who are in need of the justice. Welcome Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi on our show. Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi, you have heard Advocate Jain as well as Advocate Ahmed. Both have given their views. Advocate Jain has cited the Honorable Supreme Court judgments, and Advocate Ahmed has given the view from the Muslim community side, and both are of the view that hijab is not such a big issue, and it's not the thing which is compulsory to be worn by a Muslim girl, and the institution can also consider that if they allow, what difference it makes. So according to both of them, legally the hijab is not compulsory. Even the Islam Dharam is not mentioning, because as Advocate Ahmed said, that in the religious functions also now Muslim ladies or girls are not wearing, then why they are insisting unnecessarily. Now we would like to know your views on hijab controversy. Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi, please.
Good morning, Mr. Goel. Good morning, my co-panelists, and good morning to viewers. Am I audible, Mr. Goel?
Yes, please.
Mr. Goel, I've heard my colleague opinion about the present controversy. I respect the views and opinion of my colleague over the legal point, because the legal points had already been established by the Honorable Supreme Court, that pluralism is the basic tenets of our Constitution. But likewise, I must say that democracy is all about controversy. Without controversy, the democracy cannot thrive, sir. Democracy is inherently undemocratic, because if there is a disagreement, there is a polarization, there is a division, there is a dissent, the democracy will be stronger. So I must focus on the aspect of democratic way of protest. And in this controversy has again thrown the spotlight on the freedom of religion. How is the religion of freedom protected under the Constitution, and how the court have ruled? Mr. Jain, in the very beginning, had quoted some of the Supreme Court judgment with respect to the freedom of religion. And he had rightly said that the freedom of religion is the core of our Constitution, and it must be respected. It must not be violated by anyone. However, there has to be balance between the freedom of religion and the rights of individual. This issue, I must say to you that the core of the dispute is the clash between the state mandate restriction on religious attire on educational institution on a ground of the maintaining public order and uniformity, and the constitutional right of the individual to freely exercise their religious beliefs and free speech of expression. This is indeed a contentious subject matter, and of course the court will decide it. But here a most important issue is that if there is a state mandated restriction, there is a law, the student must respect the law. They should not take the law in their hands. Of course, they can protest, they can express their differences, they vent their grievances, but they should not take the law in their hands. But in our country, modern democracy is defined by all sorts of nefarious acts and activities. It is not on the basis that the sentiments of one section should be respected. I must say to you that the principle of pluralism and the liberal democracy support the right of any citizen to have a faith and practices of religion. This is our constitution, our directive principle. If you see the preambular statement of our constitution, it is very clear that there must not be discrimination. There has to be equality under Article 14 of the Constitution of India. So there is no dispute with respect to the settled positions of law that the law provides for equality. The law does not allow and permit discrimination. However, the reality is different. Every level, every time there has been a discrimination by the state. But if there is a discrimination by the state, here by discussing a particular issue, we cannot decide whether bearing a hijab is legal or whether bearing not a hijab is legal. Of course, there has been a judgment which can guide me to come to conclusion that if the particular practice is not inherently important in that religion, it must not be insisted upon. Here in this case, as I said, the only issue which we are discussing here, whether the right to bear a hijab is constitutionally protected. Of course, it is a constitutional question, and that has to be settled down by the Honorable Supreme Court or respective High Court. This is the only issue, this is the only controversy. You know, one section is insisting that this is the part of our religion and it must be allowed. However, the state mandated restriction says that the uniform, there is a restriction. One has to be guided and one has to be governed by the institution law. It may be your religion, it may be your practice, but we cannot permit it. I would like to tell to you that the law is blind. The law must be respected. The law must be followed, whether it is right or wrong. You have a constitutional guarantee. You can go for the protection of these guarantee. You have a remedy under Article 32 and 226 of the Constitution of India if you think that it has been violated. Yes, protest is one of the weapons in democracy, and which I feel is not wrong. And even if it is spreading in the other parts of the country, I think that the controversy should be settled down by the Honorable Supreme Court, whether it is right or wrong, and it must be settled once for all. So my point is here that the contentious subject ensues, legal question, whether to right to bear a high hijab constitutionally protected or not. Karnataka government maintains that hijab is not essential religious practice in Islam, and even otherwise, the state is constitutionally empowered to issue prohibitory orders to impose a reasonable restriction to exercise the fundamental right. Those protesting against the ban maintain the hijab is an integral part of Islam. Ban is an egregious invasion into their religion freedom. I must say to you that the free speech and religion of freedom under the Constitution, Article 19(1)(a) lays down that all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression. And according to Justice Krishna Iyer, this freedom is essential because the censorial power lies in the people over against the government, not in the government over against the people. So, but this right of Article 19(1)(a), like every other right under the Constitution, is not absolute. Article 19(2) lays down that the state shall be entitled to impose reasonable restriction on the exercise of the rights under Article 19 by way of framing laws, and Article 19(2) provides that prohibitory legislation can be made in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state and friendly relation with the foreign state and public order, decency, morality, and relation of the contempt of the court. The Supreme Court, I would like to take your attention to the 1950 judgment, Supreme Court in Chintaraman Rao versus State of Madhya Pradesh, 1950, let down. the principle that the legislative view of what constitutes reasonable restriction shall not be conclusive and final, and it shall be the subject of supervision by the Supreme Court. So ultimate arbiter is the Supreme Court. And if there is a controversy, if there is a certain dispute of ideology, of thoughts, of course it must be settled by the Honorable Supreme Court. And similarly, a state of Maharashtra versus Giro 1952, the Supreme Court has held that the test of reasonableness, wherever prescribed, shall be applied to each individual. A statute impugned and no abstract and general principle of reasonableness can be let down for all prohibitory laws. What I am essentially saying, that what is reasonable and what is not reasonable is the domain of the Honorable Supreme Court. It is not the domain of the common public and the common person. If there is a dispute, it has to be settled down by the law. It must not be raised to the level of disharmony. So my Article 25 of the Constitution maintains that all people are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to profess, practice, and propagate religion, subject to the public order, morality, and health. So my point is that every article of the Constitution is giving you the right, reasonable right, not absolute right, to practice some kind of religious practices. And what I'm trying to say, that I am an advocate. We are wearing a black coat. Nobody is coming in a blue coat or yellow coat. We are going in a black coat. Even the judges are sitting by wearing a black coat. And tomorrow, some advocate goes and says that no, black coat is a practice which is being practiced by the Britishers. We will not. I wear a blue coat. I mean, what I'm trying to say, there will be anarchy. There will be chaos.
Okay.
So, what I'm trying to say, what I want to conclude, that we are not going deep into the controversy, whether it is an inherent part of the Islam or it is an exterior part of the Islam, and whether it should be allowed, whether it should not be allowed. What I'm trying to say, that our Constitution is the supreme. Neither legislature is supreme, nor judiciary is supreme. Our Constitution is supreme. So, if our Constitution has let down certain law and certain right which is falling under civility, it must be without discrimination. It must be followed without any kind of raising any controversy or dispute, because if the democracy is being undermined by venomous thoughts, probably you will not exist. So I conclude that this is a controversy which must be resolved through the intervention of by the law, so that everyone should feel satisfied, because ultimately the legitimacy of the court is coming from the confidence of the common public. And if the common public is having confidence in judiciary must come forward and settle this dispute. The early court will take a decision on this issue. There will be peace. There will be harmony. So it has to be resolved by the court. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi. And Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi says the court should take the decision as early as possible to resolve this dispute, so that peace can be prevailed. Thank you very much, Advocate Sudhi, Advocate Shashank Dev Sudhi. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he's Dr. Naveen Gupta. Dr. Naveen Gupta is the Director of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, HIMCS, Sharda Group of Institutions, Mathura. Dr. Naveen Gupta is a leading behavioral scientist, trainer, management consultant, and therapist. He studied at the IIT Roorkee and has 34 years plus years of academic experience in teaching and research. He has visited a number of countries like USA, China, Hong Kong, Dubai, Oman, Sharjah, Nepal, Macau, Sri Lanka, etc. for training and academic assignments. He has worked as the top academic and administrative leaders, including as the director of several business schools and as a director general with Advent Institute of Management, Udaipur, Rajasthan. He is also a founder of Soldiers of Society, SOS, in Agra and Mathura, for making differences to the life and livelihood of the auto workers and other poor sections, and enhance the experiences and memories of the national and international tourists to the city of Taj. Welcome Dr. Naveen Gupta on our show. Dr. Naveen Gupta, you have heard the three legal luminaries, Advocate Jain, Advocate Ahmed, and Advocate Shashank Devsudi has given their views. Now, you being the director of a management institution, you are dealing with the students there, although it's in UP, but because it is spreading everywhere, we would like to know your views as an institutional head about on this hijab controversy. Dr. Naveen Gupta, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. Thank you very much for inviting me. I heard all the panelists, and especially Mr. Shashank has made it more emotional, more serious. So I will be on lighter side now. For me, I don't know kahan se, although Mr. Amir Ahmed sahab also has repeated this. तो मैं उनको ही कोट करूंगा कि कहां से ये सब चीजें आई, क्यों आ रही हैं. दैट इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट, है ना. इफ आई गो ऑन लाइटर सेंस, तो कितना इंटॉलरेंस हो गया है. और पहले में आई हर्ड नंबर ऑफ सॉन्ग्स लाइक निकाह सॉन्ग. आई वुड लाइक टू कोट फ्यू लाइंस ऑफ द मूवी निकाह. चेहरा छुपा लिया है किसी ने हिजाब में, जी चाहता है आग लगा दूं नकाब में. There was no reaction that time particularly. और अमर अकबर एंथनी सॉन्ग, पर्दा है पर्दा, पर्दे नसी को अगर बेपर्दा ना कर दूं. थैंक गॉड. अगर आज की तारीख में इस तरह के सॉन्ग्स होते तो क्या होता, कैसे होता, मुझे नहीं पता. थैंक गॉड. बहुत अच्छी बात शशांक जी ने कहा कि वी हैव द कोर्ट हियर, और डेमोक्रेसी है तो डिफरेंसेस तो होंगे, डिफरेंट कल्चर है. तो स्टिल आई रिस्पेक्ट our country for that matter कि कम से कम जब छोटे लोग नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं किसी बात को, तो we have the code. It is very surprising for a country like India कि ये इशू तो हमारे डिस्कशन के होने ही नहीं चाहिए. तो इसके पीछे मुझे हिजाब भगवा इससे कोई ज्यादा मतलब नहीं है. मतलब मेरा सिर्फ इस बात से, why such type of issues are coming up. Because our priorities are different. We are still, after independence, इतने साल हो गए, we are known as a developing country. Look at the Japan. कहां से कहां चले गए हैं. तो मुझे तो लग रहा है ये इशू कहां, इसमें what are the deeply एक स्टडी की जरूरत है कि कहां सोशल फैब्रिक्स कैसे क्यों खराब होता जा रहा है, इतना इंटॉलरेंस क्यों है हमारे पास. I would like to quote few lines of the एक poet हमने बुलाई थी, Fehmi the Riaz, though it is a domain of Amir Saab, but I would like to quote few lines. A few years back we invited her for a Indo-Pak मुशायरा at मुजफ्फरनगर. उसने वहां एक कविता सुनाई थी, मुझे बहुत ही अच्छी लगी. पाकिस्तान की शायरा है. तुम बिल्कुल हम जैसे निकले अब तक कहां छिपे थे भाई, वो मूर्खता वो घामड़पन जिसने हमने सदी गंवाई, आखिर पहुंचे द्वार द्वारे अरे बधाई बहुत बधाई. प्रेत धर्म का नाच रहा है कायम हिंदू राज करोगे, सारे उल्टे काज करोगे, अपना चमन तराज करोगे, तुम भी बैठा करोगे सोचो, पूरी है वैसी तैयारी, कौन है हिंदू कौन नहीं है, तुम भी फतवा जारी करोगे, होगा कठिन का वह है भी जीना, दांतों का आ जाएगा पसीना, जैसी जैसी कटा करेगी वहां भी सब कुछ सांस घुटेगी. मैं पूरा नहीं पढ़ना चाहता, इट विल टेक लॉट ऑफ टाइम. कहना एक चाहता हूं कि व्हाट वी, किसको हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, किसको हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, व्हाट आर आवर पैरामीटर्स. इन लास्ट पैनल डिस्कशन आई सेड इन करप्शन परसेप्शन इंडेक्स डेनमार्क should be our role model, not the Pakistan. They are going down and down and down. But what we are learning, तो ये intolerance अभी issue क्या है as a academician. देखिए मैं कई साल से, I mean more than 25 years I am in academic institution. I have never seen, जो अमीर साहब ने कहा है, मैंने कभी किसी स्टूडेंट को, गर्ल्स स्टूडेंट को हिजाब या बुरखे में नहीं देता. I am the executive member of the Aligarh Muslim University. I keep on going for the research purpose, PhD program and all that. and never seen any female faculty there with this burqa and anything, because it is their personal choice. वो पर्सनल चॉइस है. एजुकेशन इज द ओनली टूल. अगर वो पढ़ रही है, उनको लग रहा है कि नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, वो रेशनल उनको डेवलप करना है, लॉजिक डेवलप है, भाई हिजाब नहीं मेरे को रिक्वायर्ड है तो व्हाई शुड आई, एंड इट इज योर पर्सनल चॉइस. आई वाज इन दुबई में मैं गया तो इट वाज वेरी वेरी कंपल्सरी. 2005 और 2006 में बहुत सारे इशू मुझे फेस करने पड़े. तो आई वाज टोल्ड कि आपको जो है बिजनेस सूट्स में टाई पहन के पढ़ाना पड़ेगा क्लास के अंदर. आई एम टू मच, आई हैव सम रिजर्वेशन फॉर टाई, है ना. नो, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन आई डिसरेस्पेक्ट. वाई, मेरे को लगता है कि भाई देखिए वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में, कोल्ड कंट्रीज में इट वाज देयर नीड, वो लगाते थे. हमने उनको, क्योंकि हमने लगा गया ब्रिटिशर्स, बिकॉज एक कॉम्प्लेक्स सेल्फ एस्टीम पे अटैक हुआ. इफ यू वांट टू बी स्मार्ट, स्मार्ट डेफिनेशन मींस यू हैव टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश और टाई होना चाहिए. तो मैंने कहा यार उनकी मजबूरी थी, मैं क्यों करूं. तो मैंने वहां पर वो डायरेक्टर से, मेरा अमेरिकन डायरेक्टर था, मेरा झगड़ा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ. मैंने कहा भाई देखिए, अगर मुझे कहते हैं कि भाई ये जो दुबई की ड्रेस है, जो अरब की ड्रेस है, चोगा पहन के आओ, तो भी मैं एक्सेप्ट कर लेता ना. तो इट इज नॉट अ ड्रेस ऑफ योर कंट्री, नॉट अ ड्रेस ऑफ माय कंट्री, तो आई विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट. बट क्योंकि मजबूरी थी, जैसा कि बिल्कुल केसीजन सर ने कहा है, अमीर साहब ने कहा कि भाई मजबूरी है, और शशांक सर ने भी कहा है कि अगर वहां का एक ड्रेस कोड है तो है, नहीं तो जॉब छोड़ के चले जाओ. मेरा मन हुआ जॉब तो छोड़ के चले जाओ, पर मैंने कहा आ गया यार तो करना पड़ेगा. इवन माय वाइफ, बिकॉज इंडियन अटायर तो वो साड़ी पहनना, ये सलवार कुर्ता ठीक है, अब वो बिजनेस सूट में जाना, तो मैं देख के मैंने कहा ये क्या, मतलब ये तो बड़ा अजीब सा लग रहा है, वाइफ को पहनना पड़ रहा, खरीद के जाना पड़ रहा. तो मुझे लगता है कि ड्रेसिंग एक है, एक पर्सनल चॉइस है, लेकिन ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि इन लड़कियों को, हु आर द पीपल, उधर से वो आए प्रोटेस्ट करने की, भगवा क्या यार, रामचंद्र जी को आपने सिंबल बना दिया एग्रेशन का. वो अभी हमारे जो पत्रकार हैं, उनकी डेथ हुई, कमाल खान साहब का, उनका बहुत बढ़िया मुझे लगा कि क्या कैसे राम बना दिए हमने. तो ये जो इश्यू है हमें थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा. और ये कैचिंग द बॉल मैनेजमेंट जो चल रहा है, ये सर कुछ गंभीर लोगों को, पॉलिटिशियन को, लेट देम डू देयर वर्क, वो अपना काम करें. पर जैसे आपने पैनलिस्ट यहाँ आए, इफ वी आर नॉट इन एक्शन, तो मुझे नहीं पता हम किस डायरेक्शन में जाएंगे, कि हम पाकिस्तान की डायरेक्शन में चाहते. वी नीड नॉट टू लर्न फ्रॉम देम. जी, कौन कौन से पीपल. जी, दूसरा मेरे को अभी बहुत बड़ा लग रहा था, आज मैं मॉर्निंग में सोच रहा था, सर विद ड्यू रिगार्ड्स, लेट मी टेक सम, बोलने दो बोल्डली, है ना. तो उसमें मुझे लग रहा है कि सोशल मीडिया कुछ दिनों के लिए बिल्कुल बंद कर, इस कदर नफरत फैला रहा है, बिकॉज इट इज अ टूल, डेंजरस टूल इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द इमेच्योर पीपल. मैं आपको बताता हूं, मैंने एक पर्पसली एक कहानी लिखी, क्योंकि जो मैं लाल साहब ने बताया,
थोड़ा शॉर्ट में करिए डॉक्टर गुप्ता, वी हैव वन मोर पैनलिस्ट टू स्पीक.
ओके 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 ओके,
सॉरी है.
मैं देखिए एक फेसबुक का एक एग्जांपल मैं आपको देना चाहता हूं. अभी इन्होंने रिसेंटली क्या क्या वो विशल ब्लोअर जिसने उठाया और किस्सा, कि जो हेट वाली पोस्ट है उसको ज्यादा पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं, है ना. जो पॉजिटिव न्यूज होती है उसको नहीं करते. तो देयर वाज अ गुड नोवेल, हैंस रोजलिंग का एक नोवेल था, बहुत अच्छा लगता है मेरे को, फैक्टफुलनेस. तो वी हैव गॉट अ टेंडेंसी, इंस्टिंक्ट, वी परसीव मोर द नेगेटिव थिंग्स. मैंने एक अपने एसओएस का एक वॉलंटियर है हमारा, और उसकी कभी कहानी आज नहीं बताऊंगा क्योंकि टाइम लगेगा, बट ही इज डूइंग सच अ वंडरफुल, शकील भाईजान. उसको मैंने कितनी जगह पोस्ट कर गया कि नोबडी हैज रिवर्ड कि ही इज डूइंग अ वंडरफुल जॉब. बट अभी आप कोई खराब मेल भेजो, उसने ऐसा से क्या, लोग सब कुछ पढ़ेंगे. तो ये मुझे लग रहा है कि सोशल मीडिया कुछ ज्यादा ही उछाल रहा है इसको, ये इट इज अ डेंजरस टूल. और
ओके,
आई थिंक आई मस्ट स्टॉप हियर, बिकॉज़
बहुत 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 धन्यवाद डॉक्टर गुप्ता, आपने बताई बात. और it's a really thing that one has to consider very seriously why the poison is going on and why people like to go only for the negative news. we know that breaking news is always a TRP catcher. But anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Gupta, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my last but not the least panelist, and she is Dr. Rukhsana Hassan. Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, are you there? Please, yes,
Yes, sir, I'm there.
we can't see you. You start your video, please. Then only I will be able to see you and then introduce you. Yes, yes. So Dr. Rukhsana Hassan is a renowned psychologist, trainer, coach, motivational speaker, special educator for early childhood education and development, a specialized counselor for the drug abusers and alcoholic with an experience of 28 years in rehabilitation center. She holds a PhD in social work and humanity from USA. She is postgraduate in Master of Arts from Mysore University, postgraduate in diabetic health educator from St. John's, Bangalore, and postgraduate in Human Rights, New Delhi. Her second PhD from Mother Teresa University in Counseling Psychology. Presently, she is doing her third PhD in Applied Science from Rajasthan University. She completed her research in a project about CSW in Bangalore City under Women and Child Development, Government of Karnataka. She has done research about adaptive personality, child development psychology, CDP. It was done with the Children of Observation Home Boys, Government of Karnataka. For the outstanding service towards humanity, she was awarded Indira Priyadashini Award. She is the nominee of Kittur Rani Chennamma, Government of Karnataka, as the best social worker. She was awarded by Art Mantram Bangalore for Go Green Bangalore. She won Women's Achiever Award of N.A. Harris Foundation Bangalore. She has presented her papers at many international conferences at Turkey, Istanbul University, and Egypt. Trained teachers in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, and all over Karnataka. She was the counselor in charge of the Karnataka State Counseling Center as an advisor for the Karnataka State Minority Commission 2011 to 2012, and also has designed pilot projects for Government of India and Government of Karnataka. She is the founder chairperson of the first rehabilitation center. She is the first minority woman in India to have started such a unique, challenging program. She designed mobile computer and tailoring training units with the help of Ministry of Labor, which benefits for the minority girls who are denied education for various reasons. Her title is Smiley Girl of the Town. She builds a new dawn in the darkest dusk just with positive smile. Welcome, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan. And I would like to inform my viewers, although initially Dr. Rukhsana Hassan was not in the panel, but in the morning, she informed me that this is a topic where she would like to say something. Time is short, so I will not give you much time, 5 to 7 minutes maximum, because we have to go for the second round. Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, you have heard everyone. We would like to know your views about this hijab controversy, because you belong to Karnataka. You are dealing with the Muslim girls. You yourself is a Muslim, and you are also wearing hijab. So we would like to know your views about the hijab controversy. Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, please.
First of all, a very good morning to all the panelists, and I salute each one's statement, whatever they have said. One of the panelists said that, whatever the school has been telling, we have to do, whatever rules have been abided. I totally agree. When you were giving admission to the girl who was wearing an hijab, why didn't you say? When the institution or the education minister has to make a statement at the time of exams, when my daughters are going to write the exam in 2 months and you say that she's not going to come, who is making this controversy? From where is this controversy born? Why were the boys allowed in the campus with the saffron scarf? What is the police doing? We have absolutely no problem. There are hundreds and thousands and lakhs of Muslim students who don't wear a hijab. We have no problem in it. It is our religion. It is our thing. Yes, today every parent is scared to send their children who are so young, just naked. And in some of the social medias, I have heard that, they are comparing Digambars with these hijabs. Please don't interfere in any religious thing. Don't they think that, the Digambars are so cheap in their religion that they go nakedly? Please don't make such statements. Who's allowing you to do all this? Why isn't the police taking any kind of action against the people who are doing it? Whereas the digital proof is there. Who's talking? Who's talking and who's comparing one religion to another religion? With all the due respect to the school management, to the education minister, to the chief minister of all the state, we have absolutely no problem. Please tell us that, you don't get admission because you're wearing a hijab. We will not. Everywhere, why are we people targeted? Whether it is food, whether it is religion, whether it is prayer, whether it is nikah, whether it is talak. Why is there only one religion in India? And now talking about Sabrimala. Sabrimala is an institution. It's not an educational institution. There you can go or you can't go. Education institution is a right for every child. Every child has that. What is the government doing? Why are not they stopping? Why can't they make this controversy in the academic year, in the beginning of the academic year? Please lay your rules. Please lay your admission checklist that if you are wearing an hijab, you are not allowed in this particular institution. As a parent, I will not send. Whether my daughter is getting education or what, yes, the safety in India for my daughter is not safe. So I have taken the decision to cover her head and send. Covering is so it has become a controversy. And if I am semi-nude on the road, nobody has any problem. If I'm wearing a bra and a bikini and going, nobody has a problem. Where are we going? Where are the values? Where are the moral values of India? We are India. Wherever we go, they fold both the hands and say, Namaste, India. Are you from India? Do you wear a sari? Where are we losing all this with this cheap politics, with this cheap media? No way. Did anybody go and see in what difficulties Muskan parent paid her fees? Does they know how many Muskans are there who are denied education? We are not. There are so many people who are jobless. Have you spoken about that? No. If I make a controversy statement today, tomorrow I'll become world famous. I will get about 1 million views. Why? Where are we going? The institution, yes. Because of the decisions of institution, today I have more than 30,000 drug addicts who have been thrown out of the schools, thrown out of the classes. They had no other things, but they became addicts. Who is responsible for this? Life is not sitting in one court or in a AC room and judging about people's life. We work to the ground level. We work to the root level. We know what is the suffering. We know what is controversy in their living, for their food, for their addiction. They are not able to pay. People are dying on roads. Please talk about this. And not about, who is wearing a hijab. If Muskan is wearing a hijab or Ruxana is wearing a hijab, how does it make any difference to India? If I say Allah Akbar, or if I say Shri Ram, or if I say Lord Jesus, how will it benefit India? Nowhere it's going to benefit. Please leave these as an individual statement, individual judgment, individual wish. There are thousands, I'm telling you, who are not wearing scarves. My niece is there, she doesn't wear scarf. My daughter, she's fully covered hijab. It is their wish. Today children are brave enough and strong enough to take the decision. So I only have to say this is nothing but cheap politics and cheap social media. That's the only thing I can conclude.
Okay.
And thank you, Goel sir, for the wildcard entry. Actually, it was a burning desire for me to talk, and I have an interview with BBC today.
Okay.
So,
Before you leave, because I know that you are traveling somewhere, my question to you is very, very clear. Do you think government of Karnataka should have handled this issue more carefully?
it shouldn't go to the government of Karnataka. It should have just gone to the law and order of the particular district, and they should have arrested all the people, whether it was that Muslim girl or the Muslim boy, irrespective students. I would only say whether it is Sri Ram or whether it is Allah Akbar, it is students.
Okay.
Please don't bring religion. Please don't bring, at least in the campus, at
Okay.
least in the education campus.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ruxana Hassan. We understand the agony and anger, and it's a reality, because after all, small children have make scapegoat by few
Yes.
vested interest, which has to be stopped. Thank you very much for giving your views and
you,
giving
sir.
your time to us. Thank you very much. Now I would like to go to Advocate Jain. Advocate Jain, my question to you is, do you think this controversy was created by one political party to polarize the voters in Uttar Pradesh? I'm asking very, very straight question to you.
I don't think that it is a controversy created by any political party, only one political party. In fact, it is most unfortunate that such controversy has arisen people now, people following one religion doubt and have suspicions about the motives and working of the people of other religion. We have doubts and suspicions about each other. Secondly, we feel that if such practices are continued with greater vigor and greater force, it will disturb the social fabric also. So this is a question that has come out because of lacking faith and confidence in each other. That is the result of, and it is the result of such lack of confidence in each other.
Okay.
But of course, some political parties might have tried to take advantage, but the brain behind all this controversy is that of politicians, shrewd people who want the society to be not at peace, and they want to take advantage of such turmoil and disturbances. This is how I perceive it.
Okay, thank you very much, Advocate Jain. Now my question एडवोकेट अहमद साहब से है. एडवोकेट अहमद साहब, आपने डॉक्टर रुखसाना हसन को सुना, उनका बड़ा क्लियर कहना था कि ठीक है, हम जिसको हिजाब नहीं पहनना है वो दूसरे स्कूल में चला जाए, जिसको पहनना है उस दूसरे स्कूल में जाए, जिसको पहनना नहीं है वो उसी स्कूल में जाए. लेकिन उन्होंने एक बहुत बात कही जो कही जा रही है कि ये चीज पहले जब आपने एडमिशन लिए थे तब आपको एक क्लियर करना चाहिए था. अब एग्जाम 2 महीने रह गए, आज आप कह रहे हो कि अब आप ड्रेस कोड बदलिए. अब वो लड़की की क्या कंडीशन होगी, इररेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ रिलीजन, वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग ऑफ रिलीजन. क्या आपके हिसाब से स्कूल को या तो 2 महीने और वेट कर लेना चाहिए था, अगले साल से करना चाहिए था चेंज, या पहले करना चाहिए था? आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे एडवोकेट?
देखिए, मैंने तो शुरू में ही ये बात कही थी कि जब 2 साल से बच्चियां हिजाब पहन के आ रही हैं, उन्हें आप अलाउ कर रहे हैं, तो एकदम से अचानक से ये क्यों किया गया? तो सीधा है कि ये इलेक्शन 5 स्टेट्स के जो इलेक्शन है, और मैं जैन साहब की बाकी बातों से इत्तेफाक करता हूं, लेकिन इस बात से इत्तेफाक नहीं करता. डेफिनेटली ये बीजेपी का किया हुआ काम है, क्योंकि कर्नाटक में सरकार उसी पार्टी की है. उनकी इंटेंशन जो भी रही हो, लेकिन साफ साफ नजर आता है कि इस मौके पे जब आप अचानक से कर रहे हैं, तो ये सीधे 5 स्टेट्स का इलेक्शन था. और चूंकि यूपी में पूरा कोशिश की गई इलेक्शन को कम्युनल करने की, यहाँ जब वो फेल हो गई प्रैक्टिस, तो फिर ये कर्नाटक से स्टार्ट किया गया. और इस बार सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेदारी बीजेपी की है, क्योंकि उनकी कर्नाटक में सरकार है और उन्हीं को इसका रिजॉल्व करना पड़ेगा. उनको पीपल्स की, जो जनता की भावनाएं हैं, जो बच्चों की भावनाएं हैं, उनको करना पड़ेगा. मेरा तो एक सजेशन है कर्नाटक सरकार को कि उनको फौरन जो है बच्चों के साथ बैठ के, उनके पेरेंट्स के साथ बैठ के, और जो सुलझे हुए जहन के लोग हैं, जो इस तरह विचारधारा के लोग हैं, जो कंपोजिट कल्चर में यकीन रखते हैं, उनको बैठाकर उनके साथ टेबल पर इस बात को टेबल टॉक के जरिए समस्या का समाधान करना चाहिए, बजाय इसके कि ये मामला कोर्ट में जाए. मैं हमारे जो लायक दोस्त है सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जज साहब, उनको मैं देखिए, कोर्ट जो है तय कर देगी, ठीक है, उसको लोग मानेंगे, लेकिन वो बात नहीं रहेगी. लोगों के फिर भी कोर्ट के फैसले पे भी क्वेश्चन उठेंगे, सवाल उठेंगे. तो ऐसी नौबत ही क्यों है? जो छोटा सा इशू है कि मैं अपने सर को ढकूं ना ढकूं, इसको भी अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट तय करे, तो मेरे ख्याल से इससे दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण स्थिति कोई हो नहीं सकती. अब आप फेल्ट कैप लगाए, फेल्ट कैप पे एतराज नहीं है, लेकिन अगर गोल टोपी कोई लगा ले, उस पर एतराज हो जाएगा.
जी. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद एडवोकेट अहमद आपके पॉइंट का. अब मैं शशांक देव जी, आप हैं हमारे संग जुड़े हुए हैं?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now my question to you, Advocate Shashank ji, this dress code is applicable only for the students, or we have some, I'm talking of the religious, because the Karnataka High Court mentioned the word religion thing in the judgment, that any cloth representing any religion. Is it also applicable on public servant? Can a public servant can wear something which represent their religion and go perform their services, like one of our panelists, or you only said that in the court, if the judge will wear bhagwa shawl or the hijab, or the advocates will change, is it for the public servant or not? Then I will give you the supplementary question, yes or no. Just give me the reply. Legally, whether public servant can wear when they are performing their public duty, any dress which is representing their particular religion?
Mr. Goel, I am trying to find the answer to your question, but it is a very complex question according to me, because I personally feel, as I said earlier also, that the timing, the motive, these are the
No,
interpretation.
so the advocate Shashank, I am asking very particular question about the public servants when they are performing their duty as a for the public, for which they are being allowed or appointed or whatnot. Can they also show the religion? They can use the religion dress or not?
See, actually, it is a very clear, and I don't have any hesitation in saying that the public servant cannot be allowed to bear religious symbols.
Why I'm saying is, in the WhatsApp or the media, it is common, it's going on. They says when our honorable Prime Minister wears and show off the religious things during public functions, which are totally public functions like Independence Day or any function, is it allowed? Now I'm asking you this question.
See, actually, I'm telling to you, we have no clarity, or we do not have a demarcation between the professional duties and a personal duties. I'm just trying to say to you, because see, the Prime Minister is representative of political parties, right? And had it been this, I must say to you, because I am fighting also, Mr. Goel, justly give me one minute time for explaining that.
Okay.
Prime Minister is the Prime Minister of the country, right? And if the Prime Minister is under oath going to UP and canvassing vote for election, he is still the Prime Minister. He cannot participate in the election. I'm telling to you, because he has taken oath under the Constitution of India not to propagate any political parties and not to castigate another political party, because he is under oath. So tell me, if there is no constitutional provision to distinguish between the Prime Minister and other bureaucrats, so here the difficulty lies, because there is no clarity. I'm just trying to say, because see, Mamata Banerjee in the Bengal election is saying something to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister and Mamata Banerjee both are constitutionally oathed person. I mean, she was a chief minister, he is a prime minister. They are alleging each other. Can a person who is constitutionally administered oath can go beyond constitution? I'm just trying to say to you. So our constitution is absolutely silent on the demarcation of duties. Let me tell you very frankly. So the democracy is being run on the basis of convenience, right? If I am afflicted by certain decision of the government, I will interpret accordingly. If somebody is afflicted, he will interpret the constitution accordingly. So therefore, there is complete silence on all these differences, whether he is allowed, whether he is not allowed. As I said to you, in a given circumstances, court is the right forum which can decide such kind of controversy, and there is nothing wrong that a small issue or big issue, it is for the court to decide whether it is a big issue or it is a small issue.
Advocate, thank you very much, Shashank Dev, for giving your views. Now, my last question goes to Dr. Naveen Gupta. Dr. Naveen Gupta, we are talking about hijab only, and you being the director of a institution, are you also getting some, because it's a MBA institution where the girls, few of the girls might be married, and if the Hindu girl is married, are they wearing the bindi, or they are applying sindoor, or they are wearing bangles? If you have a dress code, whether those bangles are in as per the line of your dress code or not? If not, whether this is also going to be stopped in future, or any Sikh boy, if he is wearing the turban, earlier he was not wearing because he might be a Mona Sardar, but now he started wearing the turban, will he be banned from in your institution or any other institution? What you say about this, Dr. Gupta? Where we are going to end? That's what I am asking you. Please unmute. Please unmute. Please unmute, Dr. Gupta.
We also have a dress code, but being a institutional head, I can tell, I mean, on behalf of myself only, if there is a student like this, if they are wearing hijab, turban, or bindi, I will not raise any objection. But this is my own.
Yes, yes, very good. No, that is what is required. Thank you very much. So, viewers, today you have seen and heard and view a very controversial, hot topic about hijab. But we all came to one conclusion, which all our experts says that this is unnecessarily created by both the parties, whether it was created by them or it is a motivational by some vested interest, political vested interest, who or some other interest who want to create some polarization in the community so that tomorrow, whether it is the UP election or in other phases, it will affect and it is going to create lots of controversy. But one thing is very clear, all our panelists have agreed this can be resolved very easily. It should be resolved. As Dr. Gupta said, he never mind whether somebody is wearing hijab or wearing bindi or applying sindoor or wearing bangles or a sardar wearing a turban. So why this issue has become so big unnecessarily? I personally feel, and my take on this is, please, the political leader should think for long, not a short-term thing. We have to think about that. One side we talk, our Honorable Prime Minister talk about making the India as a global leader, Vishwa Guru. Are we going to become Vishwa Guru like this? Or we become a laughing stock in the international community? And mind it one thing very clearly, what we are doing here, the repercussion has already started. Tomorrow it should not happen that our children in other countries or our all those NRIs who are working and who are sending the remittance and which we all are accepting very happily will face the consequences which will be very bad for our country. Please think seriously. Try to resolve as early as possible. Don't allow this fire to go here and there. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 NEWS, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, as well as what's shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor to bring to you every day new topic. And tomorrow, as you know, is the Valentine's Day. So our topic in media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 AM is Valentine Day in India. And our panelists are Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, renowned psychologist, Bangalore; Miss Urvashi Mittal, District Secretary, Inner Wheel, District 301, New Delhi; Miss Parul Jindal, Director, Narayani International School, Aligarh; Miss Archana Kumar, Educator, Mumbai; Advocate Avishi, Dhaka, Supreme Court, New Delhi; Mr. Sumit Pal Sharma, Partner, Permex Global, Mumbai; Mr. Santosh Jangal, Personality Development Trainer, Hisar; and Miss Shibana Banu Abdul Kani, Literature Student, Iduki, Kerala. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 AM. Thank you very much, Advocate Jain. Thank you very much, Advocate Ahmad. Thank you very much, Advocate Shashank. Thank you very much, Dr. Naveen Gupta. And thank you very much, Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, for giving your very enlightening, very positive views. And this positiveness should be there. As Dr. Gupta has mentioned and Dr. Rukhsana Hassan mentioned, please try not to spread lies and the venom on the social media. Please, after all, it is our country, our own country, and all children are our own. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.